Got a good show for you today. So just gonna talk a little bit of ECU talk. I got my boy Phil Henry with me today. Shout out to Black Jerus. He's not here, but I'm hosting today, and that's the usual
Where's
host. We
Black
gotta
Jerus?
do.
Where's Black Jerus?
Where's Black Jerus? We got a new host today. That's me, but we're gonna see. We're gonna let you know some ECU talk and some expectations right after this. And we're back, and we're about to jump straight into it. Mr. Henry, how you doing, my brother?
Good, man. I'm good. I'm glad to see you and glad to talk about I'm ready to talk about some ECU football right now, even though I'm gonna be real with you.
Hey, that's all we can do. That's all we can do. But I do know season is gonna come pause faster than we expect. It's right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Right around the corner. And we did hit the spring game. I'm a little late, but I still want to go over this because I will be covering them this year. And the first thing I want to ask you though, is what do you feel about Alabama out the gate? Just I gotta go with that. What did you feel about Alabama?
Was who in the hell made this schedule? I realized immediately, like, oh, okay, athletic directors got to do stuff, you know what I'm saying, ahead of the season. These things are done far out. So my first thought though was, oh yeah, we about to get beat by a whole lot. That was my first thought. My second thought was, well, anytime you play a good team of that caliber, and we're talking top of the top when we talk Alabama, we're talking about playoff team, we talking about championship pedigree. First thing I thought after thinking that we're going to lose was, well, it's going to be a chance for a player to go out there and make some plays. On a big stage. And, that's how I looked at it when I was playing. I'm like, okay, we got Virginia Tech first game. I can't wait because I'm going to try to make some plays. And you look at it like you get your chance to have exposure against a team that everybody's going to be talking about, blowing you out. So really, that was my first thought, was like, all right, we about to get beat by this team. It's on the road too. But then my second thought was, well, somebody's going to be able to make a play in front of a big crowd, make a name for themselves. And I think that's always important. It's like, people go to NFL games based on how they play the good teams. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's going to be an opportunity to go out there and make some plays. And that's how I looked at it.
Yeah, that's the same way I kind of looked at it. But I'm thinking they got something cooking. If you coming out, heavy like that, you got something going on down there. I mean, and last year they ended it 9-4, ended the season 9-4, bowl game winner. So they got some momentum coming in for the season. But Alabama,
it's levels. It's levels. The first thing I thought about was its levels. The third thing I thought about was levels. First thing I thought was, man, who in the? Let me back up.
Who?
All right, you asked me what's the first thing. The first thing I thought literally was, who in the hell scheduled this game? That's the first thing I thought. Second, I'm like, we gonna lose this game. That was the second thing. Then the third was like, well, that's gonna give a chance for a player to go out and ball out. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I do believe in the mentality of like any given Sunday, any given Saturday, right? Like depends on how it goes. And I'm talking to a guy who came into a game where people thought y'all weren't gonna win and you won it. So I can understand you having a different perspective than I might have. You know what I'm saying? As a player, it's not even a question. If I got on an ECU jersey, I don't care who on the other side. It could have been Dion. I'm winning my route. That's how I used to look at it. It doesn't matter what team we playing. Like, I'm going to go hard. But when you sit back and you watch it now as a spectator and you start being real objective about things, like I'm going to always be, when you listening to my podcast or when I'm a featured guest on yours, we got to be realistic about this team. Let's be realistic about what we're watching. Let's not get caught up in just the fact that we used to play on this team. I understand that, like, we put our time in. Nobody can say anything about the work we put in. But we're gonna be realistic about this game now. I'm not gonna be that person that's out there like, oh yeah, ECU about to beat these boys by 21 on the road. Like, nah, bro, that's not. I never, you know what I'm saying. I feel like I got to respect my teammates because I was gonna keep it real with you the whole time anyway. So you expect me to come here now and be like, oh yeah, we're gonna win this game? No, I don't think we're gonna win this game. I feel like going into it, you better get it together at the quarterback position. I brought my dice. This dice in here is because it might be a crapshoot this year on how the season gonna be with the quarterbacks. Because right now, based on that spring game, which we'll get into, it sounds like they don't know who they got at the QB quite yet. So we'll talk about that.
And that was my next question. We observed. I'm honest. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go off. What do you think is gonna be their strength this year? I think we both might know what that might be.
Okay, overall team, right? Just you talking about the whole team.
The strength of the team, with the backbone of the team.
I got defensive line.
Defensive line. Okay.
What you got? Same.
I got. I just watching the spring game right now. I think that the defensive line looked more ready than any other position out there. They were stacked. They got some big guys up front. And it was several plays me and you was watching. We thought it was just sacks, just off. They was getting up in, they was getting in there fast. So
a lot of concerns with that came with that because I'm like, great job, like, you know what I'm saying, getting in the backfield ASAP. But then you think about it, it's like, okay, spring, let's keep it real, like it's early. So as a person who played and coached, it's early in the spring, bro. Like we just really don't know quite yet. We got to give it a little more time. But we're going to judge off what we saw. When you make a play, it's great. But then you got to think about you playing against your own team. So that means that somebody just got beat that was on your same roster. So when I'm watching some of the wideouts that I'm going to have my eyes on this year, like Tyler Johnson, looked like he was nice out there in that 13. What's my boy, number 11, Ray
Joseph. Ray Joseph. I'm sorry.
They making plays, but guys, they running past some of the DB. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's the same team we looking at. So that means if you're making a play, great job, but like somebody just got ran past on our defense, right? So I thought about that up front. I'm like, all right, defensive line getting back there, but it's also a little bit of a like concern because it didn't look like Emory Williams. He didn't look like he's going to be a quarterback that can get away if they get back there. So you know what I'm saying? So that means he's going to have to rely on pocket. And I saw his post-game where he spoke about his strength is his pocket presence. So that must be the kind of player that he's going to be. Like he wants to be able to sit back, decipher, make good decisions. You got something different with Mitch Griffiths. He looks like he might be able to
get out
a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Significant difference in the size, Paul, between these two quarterbacks. And I think right now, it looks like it's a competition for right now, but we'll find out as we continue. But the D-line, to me, to answer your question, is the strength of the team, in my opinion, right now, based on looking at that spring game. And they might feel a different way about it. That's just my opinion. I think it's D-line based on what I saw.
Me as well. The same thing. D-line look good, man. So, so what do you think the expectations for the year would be? Because 9-4, that's not a bad season, bro.
Nah,
when you think about it,
we
just went over them first 4 games. If they could come out strong, Pauls, and get a victory,
let's do it by the game. Let's go. I'll do it by the game. Let me see. And I'm just off the top, guys, right now. But I'm just saying, when you look at it and the first thing you see is Alabama, it's like, all right, bro, 0-1. Let's stop playing. All right, then the second game you got App State. I think they can win that game. First of all, your question was the expectations. Let me just say this. I think ECU expectations are super high. Like they're expecting this team to be a really good team. I'm talking win the athletic. I'm talking about that kind of team. Like win the conference. That's what's being expected, I feel like. But then we got to get into the schedule. Now we got to talk about who you playing, because I get it, bro. We can have expectations like, all right, let's go win this. Let's go win this conference. Now let's see what's going on when we look at this
schedule.
Actual schedule. First of all, you going to Bama. I ain't gonna say no more. You going to Bama. Then you come home. You play App State. I think they can win that game against App State. I truly do. I feel like they can win that game. ODU on the road after that. I think they can win that game. It's gonna be a tough one.
It's gonna be a tough one. ODU.
I think they can win that game. Central at home. I think they can win that game. I'm gonna watch Central O-line though to find out, because when it's time to talk about the spread of that game, you might be able to get some money listening to the PH podcast. Yeah. If I look at that Central O-line.
Throw it up there.
But then again, if we just said the strength was ECU's D-line. So even if Central has a good O-line, that don't mean you still can't get pushed around when it's time to play ECU. And I want to say that and look right in the camera, because I got a lot of friends that went to Central. And I want y'all to know, I know y'all excited about this game. And I know y'all used to say y'all little smart stuff to me when I was going and playing at ECU and y'all was at Central and like the difference and all that. But I just want you to know, don't go out there and get yourself embarrassed.
Don't get embarrassed.
Don't get embarrassed when that game comes. I'm going to be there. And so then October.
Me as well.
You got Rice.
Okay.
Got Rice at home. Then you go to UAB. Then you got Memphis. You got Temple. That's 4 games to me, all athletic conference games. And I'm going to just be real with you. It looked like, from what I'm looking at it right now, you can split that game. You can go 2-2 in that 4 games. Or you can go 4-0. Depends on the quarterback play to me. Like, is your quarterback established at this point? Hopefully, because you're talking about going up to a Halloween game that's actually at home for ECU, which we can talk about.
Yeah.
It's a completely different atmosphere in Greenville during Halloween. They happen to have a game during this time. That's going to be crazy. They playing Temple on Halloween. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to say that they're going to win that game, even though I know that Temple, they usually do a pretty good job. Like Temple, I'm not mad at them, but I got to do a lot more research on my teams as far as the athletic conference, to be real with you. But they can split that and go 2-2, or they can go 4-0 compared to. All depend on the quarterback play. In November, you got South Florida that's going to be coming to town. Then you got Charlotte that you got to go play. Shout out to Coach Fitch, offensive coordinator out there.
Fitch.
You there. You go to Army and you playing in West Point. And then you home for Florida Atlantic. You got the last four for the schedule, man. I'm gonna wait a little later to give you how many wins I think ECU gonna get this season. But I do feel like they're going to a bowl game. I can't tell you if I think they're gonna win this conference right now, because it's all based on the quarterback play. I got to see this quarterback play for a couple games before I say we're going to win this conference. Nobody's winning this conference that doesn't have the quarterback established and balling out.
Like you said, though, Mr. Williams say his attribute is pocket presence.
Right.
You know, and I know they had to rebuild this line this year. We had some guys leave out, you know, brought some new interior in there. So we got to see. I'm just going off from what I saw at the spring game.
What are your expectations?
Need some more work right now. But I'm expecting you to be better than the record last year. That's what I'm expecting.
So 9 wins last year. You saying 10 wins this year at the minimum?
10 at the minimum. And I'm thinking, to be honest, if you're rolling, depending on specials, you know, the special deliveries, if they can come out and fight and potentially get a victory the first game of the season, you never know. I mean, you never know.
Let me say this. I feel like let me just say this. I'm gonna turn my head. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm about to say something right now. Let you know. If they beat Alabama in that first game,
undefeated.
You talking about opportunity now. Like, you can win the conference, and you haven't. Do I need to say that word that starts with a P? Are we talking?
You know what I'm saying?
We talking playoff talk?
That's what I'm. Look, if I'm East Carolina, if I'm Mr. Harrell, if I'm Mr. Mr. Blake, if you can get that victory and keep them focused, hey, undefeated.
You know how hard it's gonna be to beat Alabama and the refs. You're gonna have to beat Alabama and their refs at their stadium. Like, it's gonna be a tough. Like, they're gonna be letting them get away with all the stuff. They're gonna get away with all the stuff. They're gonna be able to hold late. They're gonna be able to push after the play. They're gonna be able to talk trash. A lot of stuff happening at the bottom of that pile. People, I can just let you know, it gets crazy. it can get crazy down there. Them folks will talk about your mama down there, like it gets bad.
Yeah, it get crazy down there.
Starting off in that first quarter is gonna be real, and then you got to finish strong too. So I did see the post game from the spring game where Coach Blake Harrell was talking about in the red zone for offense, you got to get points, you got to score, and then in the red zone on defense, you got to get stops, right? So doing that against, and I want to shout out Hollywood Smothers because he's gonna be now going from NC State playing in Alabama, right? And you're gonna have to get him. Just let you know. You have to be on him. They played him before. You've seen him on film.
I've seen
him. To be on him
in person. So
I have to be on him. Yeah, you actually went to the game. You called out. Yeah, that's another time. We can talk about that when you said they was gonna lose to Virginia Tech and they lost. It's crazy. That first game, you really how you feeling? I don't want to put you on the spot here, but you got if it was a spread for that game,
East Carolina.
You talk spreads. Do you talk spreads on your platform?
We talk about spreads all the time, but
I'm sure you do.
With Alabama,
that was a rhetorical question. What's the spread for that game? Give us a.
I'm thinking
ballpark. It don't gotta be correct on exact, but ballpark.
I'm thinking
is it over 30?
Right at the cusp. right at the cusp. But that's the thing though. You that type of stuff should motivate you now.
So it could be 28 and a half
or something. 28 and a half. It could be 28. It could be,
Yeah.
And that's my thing. We just said it. What if he on fire? What if one of them quarterbacks on fire? If you got good quarterback play and you making plays and you moving the chains and the clock, you always have a shot. I don't care if it's a shootout. I don't care if it's you always got a shot.
Let's keep it real, man. We don't want to because we don't tell lies on platform.
I'm not.
We tell truths. So if we keeping it real, it's gonna come down to that O-line against that Bama D-line.
D-line. It is.
Keep it real, and then vice versa. It's gonna be in the trenches. The play is gonna be made on the outside, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, great touchdown run!" You know what I'm saying? Ashton Gray, hopefully he breaks out. You know what I'm saying? Coming from North Texas, right? Yeah. Got his old coordinator, left with his coach. That's what's going on right now in college. You're leaving with your coaches, but I think it's gonna be in the trenches. Like, can our O-line hold up against that Bama D-line that when the draft comes, they're going to have some players coming off. And then on the offensive line, our D-line, which we saying is a strength.
Backbone. That's the backbone team.
They got that one-on-one matchup. They got to win.
They got to win it.
And they got to win when it count like late in the fourth because I don't know about you, but I'm not expecting us to go in and think we're going to blow this team out. So it's going to be a close one if we win this game. If we win.
I know.
Quarter.
That's what I definitely think. Sticking around, fighting, bobbing and weaving. Catch a shot. Catch a shot, manage the clock, be smart. And then I was going to say this. We do have the coordinator that was in North Texas that led the nation in offense last year. Yeah. He's there. And watching the spring game, what I can say right now is he's going to give you a different look.
I noticed that too.
What do you think, the schemes he can do and what he can do, leading the nation, man, that's big. I don't care where you're at. Leading the nation in offense, at North Texas last year, now we have them. And the schemes, we don't have the same skill players there, but we do got some guys that can make plays. Yeah. Do you think he will be effective this year as far as this conference? Because I honestly think we got a shot, man. I mean, be honest. Some them that first four stretch
to win the conference.
The first four games to me, 3-1, 4-0, 3-1 to 4-0.
Yeah, I'm with you there. They can go 3-1 in the first four for sure.
And then that conference stretch, there's some good teams, man.
They got to get out of that first game without getting beat up too. They got to make sure, like, let's get out of this game and still have our quarterback. Let's not come away from this game and now the backup got to play. He has to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's make sure we got both QBs after this game is over. And then I ain't gonna lie too. Sometimes you can get into first games. Like, I can just tell you from experience, I'm not making this up like off the top.
Yeah.
We went into a first game before when I was a senior and we didn't have our starter. We went into it really with our third string and he had a good half. The second half, it got different, but against the best team defense that we had played since I have been there. So sometimes you can have, and we put Wayne in to run some quarterbacks during that game. Yeah. So I feel like sometimes coaches can get into big games and start changing stuff up. Yeah. And you start shuffling, and like what I don't really want to see is like you start off with one QB, then you go with another QB, and we still lose the game like for game one. Like, if you're gonna go with one dude, let him rock.
Let him rock out.
If you bring in the second quarterback, if he comes in, he's gonna have to win that game, like to keep him. Because if you playing both and then you lose still, now you going into the season, you doing this every time. I've seen that too, where you have one QB and then when they mess up, they out the game. Now you bringing the backup in. So, I want to say this offensive coordinator has a lot of experience in understanding offense because he had the number one offense, right? Yeah. North Texas definitely, we weren't talking about them. And then last season, you like, oh, North Texas, like this team balling, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think he will establish a QB and keep and stay with one. I really do. But because we're coming off spring game and it's so early now with transfer portal players, you just don't know. Like right now, if I ask the head coach right now, I'm Blake Harrell, who's the starting quarterback right now. I'm looking right at him right now. It's April the 27th. He's gonna probably tell me, I can't tell you right now. Yeah. Now he might know who he wants to be the starter, right? Because we all have a player that we want to be the starter. But if you're getting beat in practice by the backup or the other guy, Mitch Griffiths, right now. In spring game, he's making great throws. I like what I seen from him, and I like what I seen out of Emory Williams too. Though he showed me something too. It's just you're just getting here. You knew we don't know a lot. So to me, fall is going to be like fall camp, very important. Very jumps out early, because you got to start understanding like getting these reps down too. Like you want both QBs to be involved, but you got to start getting the real reps with your QB. And your receiver, so you can have your timing. One thing that he said that I paid attention to was Emory Williams speaking. He said that him and Ray in practice had missed on a play that they ended up hitting in the spring game. So that's letting you know they got chemistry already, coming from the same backgrounds. They've been playing, they have experience, and that's cool. And I think that's good. But you can't get that if you're in and out the lineup. So establish your QB. But what I do like from this old coordinator so far that I've seen based on the spring game, I kind of like what he's doing in the run game. Yeah. You can get Ashton Gray going, I think. People going to be excited in Greenville.
Get him in some space. Get him in some space and see what he can do. But I like I said, I got high hopes for him, man. I mean,
10 wins, definitely high hope. You talking that's Coach Ruff status. 10 wins.
But I'm thinking they can get it. We don't know if they had everybody there. They got some other guys coming in this summer, but it's right around the corner, bro.
Oh yeah,
it's right around. It's right around the corner. Next thing you know, welcome to game day week. This is
right.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, we're gonna be there. So by the way,
Oh yeah. We're gonna talk about that because I'm out. I'm trying to do that. But
I know we got BYU coverage sometimes too. So I know everybody been following. Y'all make sure y'all following the platform, the Run Report. Black Jerusalem is not here right now. We're gonna talk about that later. Like, when he come on my platform, I'm gonna get on him about that. Like what he got going on. Last time I was on, he had a leave tech issue, came back. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk about that, Black Drew, because the reason why I ain't been on lately is because y'all been doing a lot of UNC talk. Let me do a little side. Let me just do my little side thing right now. Just get my message off real quick. Y'all talking a lot about UNC right now. I like Duke basketball, so all this UNC talk y'all talking about right now, I couldn't be on here, guys. You're talking a little bit too much UNC for me right now. All right. Fired coach, new player coming in just because he look like AI. You think he's going to be option now? I know the dude that was at NC State. I saw him this year. Now he at UNC. He was straight, but I just want to let y'all know it was a couple of times late in the game. I don't know what Cub was thinking about sometimes, but I think he can play. So, he might help UNC. But anyway.
They lost, but they lost a big piece, man. Buddy
was killing Duke. If you go back to the Duke game when they lost, well, actually when UNC won, but the Duke lost, Yo, the center was killing. Like
Yeah,
he was really couldn't be
that's a
stopped,
big
and he just decided he wanted to leave. That what happened. I don't like to keep up with a lot of UNC's news, but I did hear he's leaving. Right, that's what y'all was talking about. You can go back and check the old episode. That's what they was talking about. I turned it on, turned it off after the first 12, 30, 15 minutes. I'm like, okay, I see what it is now. We're talking UNC. Did y'all talk some draft yet? Any NFL draft talk?
Not yet. We are. But I seen one thing I did notice though. A Heisman candidate
didn't get drafted.
Didn't even get drafted.
Hey yo, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm not that surprised. I don't know, bro. I'm not that surprised.
I mean, and he's a cocky guy.
Yeah, I think he was slow too. Like he ran slow, didn't he?
Yeah,
I think he ran slow. I think he like not that tall. He already short. Yeah. They own him probably by his measurables, man.
Yeah, but a player is a player.
Yeah, they need to judge the heart. He should have got drafted. Somebody can pick him up.
Come on, that's crazy, dog.
Somebody could pick him up. I was looking at we'll talk about it at one point, but I'm like, 49ers took a wide out. They never really did that. And I like him though. I really like him coming out of Ole Miss, but they traded out. When I seen 49ers trading out of the first round, that's all because everybody, when I seen that safety for Oregon go, 49ers needed safety bad or a lineman.
Yeah.
When that safety for Oregon went, I'm like, oh my God, all the 49ers players getting drafted. They just moving back because everybody getting drafted that they wanted is getting drafted before that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But anyway, yeah.
But yeah, man.
It's a little tangent right there.
For those that haven't seen you before, I want you to get them your info, let them know what you do, your podcast.
Okay. The PH podcast, you can check it out on all the podcast platforms. I like to talk about sports and I like to relate it to your life. I kind of like to talk about the business side of sports also. So instead of just in a simple terms, instead of just saying like, oh, LeBron is one of the best players, I'm going to tell you why LeBron is going to have to, I'm going to speak more towards LeBron's contract for the team, setting a standard to always have like a 2-year deal that Kevin Durant started doing after that in his career so that guys can get extra paid. I'm going to break down stuff like the franchise tag. Like right now, there's players getting franchise tag, but I like to tie in the fact that we got to always start looking at the money that these guys are making, not personally, but like how it affects your entire team. Case in point, the last time I was on this platform, there was another guy on this platform that likes the Ravens, and I want to make sure he watches this. When we were talking about that division, and we were bringing up quarterbacks, and you mentioned Shador, right? And I had some friends. It might not have been you. I might have got you mixed up with someone else, but there were some people that were trying to tell me that they just knew Shador was going to be the starter, and the reason why you need to listen to the PH podcast is because you wouldn't have been surprised if you saw the news come out that said that it's going to be an open competition between him and Deshaun Watson. I mentioned that, I think, on your platform.
Did. I remember that.
But it's a lot of people who are not going to understand that. Some people are just going to be like, oh, yeah, new coach, the old coach didn't like Shador, so now he gets to play, and it's everything good. No, what y'all don't understand is
too much money.
Deshaun Watson made $230 million guaranteed dollars, and he's back healthy now. He's got to have an opportunity to at least see, can he start here? It don't even matter about how good he is as much as it's about how much he was making. So stuff like that, I don't want to make it seem like it's boring because I don't just get into the money every time. Like I talk about just what's going on based on my experience. I've been a person who played basketball coming up, football as well. I've been privy to see players who have made it to the highest level. I trained with guys that made it to the highest level that became Pro Bowlers in their first 2 or 4 years in the NFL. I've had relationships and still have relationships with players that are in the NFL, also in the NBA. So they give me a perspective based on the way I came up that I can really just, give to the people. So that's why I really do it. You go on YouTube, PH32 Films, but the PH podcast, just spell it out like on this shirt. It's on all of the platforms. I was a former player that went to ECU, played football. I walked on the team, tried out, basically just think about it like this. If you know somebody who ever just went to a college and said, yo, I'm about to play football, and then tried out and made it, that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? The long story short version. You feel me? And I made plays while I was out there. I wasn't just a person on the team. No disrespect to anyone, but I had a long journey to get to that point because I always have been a smaller player. So people overlook my size. Pause, just like they did for the quarterback that didn't get drafted. They had their preconceived notions, and then they found out once I got there, like, oh, okay, this guy got to play.
Yeah, that's real, man. And it's unfortunate though, man, because we see stuff like that all the time. But that hasn't happened in a while though.
I haven't seen that one. So I can't remember who did they say anybody who was a Heisman candidate that didn't. Who was it?
I just know it was some years back. I just know that years and years.
I feel like even James White, when he was one of the quarter for Oklahoma back in the day, I feel like he still got drafted and he didn't do nothing in the league from Alabama. But speaking of quarterbacks from Alabama, Ty Simpson, Rams. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, that's another talk right there, though, man. But I appreciate everybody watching today, and I appreciate you for coming on today too, my boy.
Appreciate you, man.
Kicking it with me, man, on the Run Report. I want to say welcome to the Run Report, where the takes is sharp, the talk is always real, and the sports never sleep. I've been your host today. That's my boy Phil Henry, man. I appreciate you guys for watching. Stay tuned. We're gonna holler at you another time. Peace.
Central game, my boys, y'all better come. Don't act like y'all ain't come now. We end up winning by 28. You better be at the game, y'all.